Local productions seen on Delta College Public Media are made possible with support from viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello, welcome to Soul Issue. I'm Nick Williams. Today I'm speaking with Eric Gordon, principal of Saginaw United High School. Currently in its second year, Saginaw United is a merging of Saginaw and Arthur Hill High Schools. I talked to Eric about the progress and the challenges being made in his second year leading this brand new school and its growing legacy. I'm here with Eric Gordon, principal of Saginaw United High School. How are you today, Eric?
Hey, I'm excellent.
Wonderful. All right, let's get started. Saginaw United has been around for only a year now. How has that first year been as principal?
First year was great. Busy. When I tell you busy, very, very busy. Community came out, got us a brand new, beautiful building, 5 stories. We call it Rise, the Tower. The first year was just, we were under construction, so we had a couple bumps, ups and downs, but mostly ups. Students have really came together. We combined Saginaw High and Arthur Hill together last year. Just had a wonderful experience. Students got along excellent. No complaints at all, and just getting the community ready for the change that took place. And it was actually a phenomenal year just to see how resilient the students were, how we came together. Even though we opened up that building, we were going through construction, the kids did everything that we asked them to. So it was really an excellent year. I cannot say anything negative about it. I really enjoyed the kids, bringing them together, and everybody was always, oh, how are you going to bring these two schools together? The kids were kids. That's all I tell everyone. Kids are kids, and as long as you're doing things that engage kids, they'll be there and they'll do the things that they should do.
That's great. Talking a little bit more on that change. Obviously, I graduated from Arthur Hill.
Okay.
There was the Arthur Hill Saginaw High rivalry. It's all under one banner now. Can we talk about that change a little bit? Maybe a little bit about the population makeup of the city, how things have changed, how we just don't have as many schools as we once did in this town.
You are absolutely correct when you talk about the dynamics of the population. Enrollment in Saginaw, well, I would say that the population of Saginaw has been dwindling. I think Saginaw was, in my opinion, was built on General Motors. As the jobs have moved out, our population has went down. And so back when the schools were built in the 1950s, Saginaw was just full of General Motors. It had so many families. But again, as General Motors pulled out and went south, we just don't have the enrollment that we used to have, just because of the families and the population. And so with the dwindling enrollment, Dr. Roberts came and we put a couple plans out, and we wanted to build one united school right in the middle of Saginaw Hall, right in the middle of Arthur Hill, right in the east side, west side, and put it right there on the riverfront, which I think was an excellent idea because, again, we met in the middle. That way you can't, because honestly, back in the day, you got Saginaw High traditions, you got Arthur Hill traditions, and so we just want to start off with a brand new tradition. So that we thought the best thing we could do is unite the two schools and put them at what we call Saginaw United. And I think it was just an excellent idea because we can better use our resources. When you look at trying to have all these buildings and all these students over here, and then you got 500 over here, you got 700 over here. Let's put them together, and have one competitive high school. And I think it worked out really well for the students and for the city of Saginaw.
And can we talk about that a little bit, the location of the school? It's almost symbolic. As a lot of us know, Saginaw has a sort of unspoken segregation from the east side and the west side, with black folks on one side, white folks on another. We have a large Hispanic population. We have a growing Asian population. How is that? What is that makeup accurately? Well, I guess what is the ethnic makeup of the school? Is it diverse?
Yes, it's diverse. We have black students, we have white students, we have Latino, we have Indian. We have we even have some kids who came from last year, because it doesn't even speak English. Cuban, you have some Cuban kids as well. It's a diverse building. I like to see it more diverse, but it's right now. We're growing. We're growing more diverse each and every day, each and every year. I see more. I see more diversity this year than I did last year. So I think it's a school where everybody can call home, and that's what we want to do. Make it for everyone, so every student will feel comfortable, and and call it their high school home.
What's unique, do you think, about Saginaw United that sets it apart from as a new school? What's kind of its mission statement setting out?
We're very unique when you look at the programming that we have. We have Mandarin, we have French, we have Spanish, we have mechatronics, STEM, robotics. We have so many programs in that building. Where this year we're one of the only schools around here where we already have SEC, which is our Saginaw Career Complex. But this year we were able to add mechatronics, right? And we have it right there in the building, which is a STEM program that's only available at SEC, but we're available. We have it now at Saginaw United. We're just trying to give every kid every opportunity to be whatever they want to be, and that's what makes Saginaw United unique, because we're just opening up doors where, again, back in the day, when we had Saginaw High, we had Arthur Hill, we couldn't offer all of these programs because, again, we're trying to use our resources over here and we're trying to use our resources over there. But when we can put that pool together, we can better use our resources and give the kids what they honestly deserve. So we're just trying to put every kid on an even playing field so they can go out in this world in this 21st century and be productive.
One of the unaddressed concerns, it would seem, in the modern education landscape is violence.
Mm-hmm.
It's an uncomfortable subject, but there are, I think, from my opinion, two types of violence that are specifically gun violence that are plaguing schools. There's one involved with organized crime, and then there's one that's random acts of lashing out.
Correct.
Are there precautions being taken at Saginaw United? Do you have drills, things of that nature? And then I have a follow-up question after that.
Yes, we've been taking precautions that all Saginaw public schools take precautions. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not just something we do at Saginaw United. Saginaw Middle, Thompson, every high school, SASA, we're all equipped with, now we even have these brand new metal detectors called Open Gate. Which students now go through. But again, we've been doing this thing for I can go back about 20 years. We're one of the only high schools where every day when kids come in, we do search their book bags. We have a clear backpack policy, so students are only allowed with clear backpacks. And we also go through metal detectors every day, because what our mission is to make sure when the student comes through that door, they're going to come back home to their parent. That's our number one mission. Before we can teach them anything, we want a kid to feel safe. And so I think we do a dang good job at doing that, because that was one of the things last year when we first opened. We had so many kids coming that the line was out the door, because at that time we were going through construction and our student entrance wasn't ready, so we were entering everyone through the front door, which is not our general entrance for our students. We have a student entrance in the back of the building where the parking lot is. But that was because we're trying to take every safety precaution that's necessary, because again, we hear about all these things that happen in other schools. I'm not saying that they can't happen, but we do take precautions each and every day. And I don't think any other high school around here is even doing what we're doing when you talk about the safety and security of what students go through. We have 7 security officers at Saginaw United. Even though it's a 5-story building, we're making sure we do everything we can to keep kids safe. That's our number one concern.
And then my follow-up question about this is, and some of this obviously out of your hands.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to get your thoughts on this, because it's something that I've had on my mind as these stories have been coming out recently. These precautions that we take, the drills, the metal detectors, the clear book bags, there's even almost seemingly an industry, with the book bags, the bulletproof book bags, things of this nature.
Wow.
Do you think that is a trauma unto itself? Do you think that might be hurting the kids to just, are we addressing the symptom and not the cause?
We have to deal with things as they come to us. That's what I would say. we do. It's sad to say, but we do live in a society where we do have violence that goes around in the city of Saginaw. And so again, students are deal with trauma each and every day. You know, what I mean, I had two of my students, two young ladies this year, they lost their mom. You know what I mean, to gun violence. You know what I mean. So again, we're dealing with these things on a daily basis. You know, trauma, just trying to deal with what goes on in the city, but we have to take students where they are at. You know, we have to meet them where they're at. Would we like it to be better? Of course we would. But at the same time, we're doing the best we can with the cards that we're dealt each and every day. But where it starts is at the school, where we can keep on trying to educate students on making a bigger and a brighter future for them by not trying to do the gun violence, not trying to do the things that are out there plaguing the city of Saginaw. And so that's what we try to do in Saginaw Public Schools, just try to educate our students, educate our parents as well. You know what I mean? We're trying to educate everyone so we can have a better society and a better school system each and every day.
I liked your point about meeting students where they're at. Just to jump off of that, because the educational landscape is very different from when I was younger, when you were younger.
Yes.
There are so many more distractions. There are so many, I mean, if you think about AI, that's a whole other impediment of education, because now kids can, have a machine that just gives them the answer to essentially everything. I mean, I'm very curious, what are the pushbacks against that? What are the things that are being implemented to make sure kids are still learning?
That AI is huge now, where kids can just input something and give an answer. And so again, we have many students who are dual enrolled, who take classes at Delta College here, and we also have students who take classes at Saginaw Valley State University as well. We have many kids who are graduating out of high school and they already have 30 credits hours complete from college. And so they get the first-hand experience about AI, and because when they're writing their papers, we're telling them, hey, your professors, because they're checking the stuff for AI. And so these are things that we have went through, but we're dealing with them as the situations come to us. Just trying to educate students on, you can't just put in this and can't put in that. You have to, basically, back in the day, how you got to earn it. You got to earn it. AI is great if you use it as a tool, but it can't do the whole job for you. You know what I mean? So we're just trying to, because again, you have to embrace technology. We have an evolving world, and technology is a huge part of it. And so you can say, hey, put those phones down. Don't do this, don't that. The more you say to try to take away something, the more someone wants to do it. So again, what we are doing, we're embracing technology and trying to use it as a tool, and not where it just takes the whole place of you doing the work.
Just for fun, are there any particular extracurriculars going on at the school right now that you see like a lot of growth in, whether that be a sports team, a dance team? You mentioned the robotics team. Is there something that's going on at that school right now that you're like, oh, those kids are on to something?
Honestly, yes, it is. It's a abundance of things. We have a law club last year that went down and competed, and they actually won. We have a robotic team that won best rookie team last year at some competitions. We have STEM, we have dance. We have we have teachers, girls. It's a fitness thing where teachers are walking with kids. We have so many. We have about 70 teachers, and what we do, we try to ask at least. We have 35 to 50 clubs, where it's student interest, it's student driven, and teachers. All we're doing is asking teachers to say, hey, we want you to sponsor this club and that club meets, because we're trying to give kids some engagement, give them something to do when school lets out at lunchtime. To give them something to have fun with, to incorporate that into their daily lives, where kids are don't have anything to do. They're not going home just doing nothing. So we have abundance of clubs each and every day. I got my French teacher, my Mandarin teacher. They have a language around the world club where they going in, even though we're teaching the class, everybody can't get those classes. But guess what? We have a club where kids can get incorporated and learn some languages around the world. So again, we're doing everything we can to encompass that whole child. You know what I mean? So if you want to do it, if it's fun, it's engaging, guess what? We're trying to do that for kids. We want things to be led by students, and that's what we're doing each and every day at Saginaw United.
What are your hopes for the school, 5, 10 years from now? What would you like to see as Saginaw United becomes more ingrained in the community as time goes on?
I just want us to evolve and be a place where the city of Saginaw sees Saginaw United as the #1 high school, because I think we're well on our way around here. We try to do everything we can to encompass the whole child, the whole student. We want boys, girls, everyone, to come here, come to Saginaw, feel safe, feel secure, and guess what? Get out into the real world and be productive. That's the main thing we're trying to do. We're just trying to give kids the opportunities. We want them to grow, because again, as we educate these kids, the city of Saginaw will become a much better place as well. And that's what I think one of the biggest problems that we have. We're not getting enough kids to be educated the proper way. And so guess what? They're falling off in the streets or doing other things. But if we can get those kids, get them at a young age, bring them up, do the right things, we'll get more people doing the right things, and we'll have a better place right here in the city of Saginaw. So my vision is just to keep on educating, make it bigger and brighter, and just keep on hoping, reaching for the sky, because I think we will reach it.
What would you say is the biggest impediment for getting those kids on that level?
If you want me to be honest with you, one of the biggest impediments we have is sometimes our parents need parenting. I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes our parents need parenting. And so what we're doing, we do have a parent liaison for the district, Mrs. Inez Williams, who we do parenting classes. So we're trying to educate parents on, because you know what, I'm going to be honest with you. Everyone needs help sometime. So what we do, we try to do parenting classes as well throughout the district, so to try to help our parents become better parents. Because some of our parents were very young when they had their kids, and some of them, just don't know. And so what we're trying to do, we're trying to help them all out. I mean? I have many parents reach out to me, hey, Mr. Gordon, maybe dad's absent, not in the house. We have a lot of different things, and so parents are reaching out to me for advice and talking to me. And guess what? We're offering and doing the best we can. No one is perfect, but again, that's what we want to be. We want people to know we're here for the whole family. We're here to try to support the family, and that's what Saginaw Public Schools and Saginaw United does. We try to reach that whole family. I don't want people to think that we just want your kids here for educational purpose. We're trying to reach that whole family, because if we can impact that whole family, we can impact that kid at a much better, deep, in-depth way.
Can you give me a success story from that process?
Man, it's so many success stories, but if you look at, I have a new AP this year. Her name is Arshan Baldwin.
I'm sorry, what does AP stand for?
Assistant Principal, I'm sorry.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Single mom, Her son last year was the valedictorian. So again, it's many parents who go through as a single mom. Her son was the valedictorian and also state championship wrestler last year. He was our 175 pounds, But she was a single mom who did it, with the support of the school system, support of her family, support of, the kid's father as well, But she embraced family, embraced all the things that try to help and built that whole child. And, she has two sons. Her other son, he's now a student at U of M. He just 2 days ago, he's doing an internship now at a law firm. So when I say it's so many success stories from kids who, guess what, were counted out, but guess what, they made it. Because we do a lot. We go above and beyond to try to make sure that these kids get what they need so they can be great. So that's just one story, but it's so many that I can go name on and on and on.
When you talk about Saginaw being counted out, what do you specifically see when it's being underlooked, as you feel?
Well, people look at, hey, they got a lot of violence here. They got this and that. But guess what? My kids are just as good as the kid next door. My kids can be just as successful. It's just surrounding with the proper things around them to nurture them, to get them to be successful, and that's what we're trying to do. So people count students out in the inner city many times, but our students are just as good as everybody else's student. A kid is a kid, and sometimes people don't look at that, and they look at, oh man, they from the east side or this and that. Doesn't matter where you're from. If you want to succeed, you can. I grew up on the east side. I grew up on the east side right here in Saginaw, born and raised. I've been here my whole life. So you can't tell me you can't be successful, because you can. Guess what? Is there obstacles out there? Many of them. But guess what? You have to learn how to, climb over that fence, go through that window. Whatever you have to do it, but you have to want it. If you don't want it, you won't get it. So we're just trying to build that sense of hunger in our students, where they want something better for them. Just because, hey, mom didn't do this, or mom didn't do that, or dad didn't do that, that don't mean you can't do it. So we're just trying to put that into the students, let the students know you can be whatever you want to be. But guess what? Nothing will be given to you. You have to work for it.
Have you had that moment as a principal, as an educator, where you think back on your education and then you see something that happens in your professional academic life where you're like, all right, we're at a different level. We've moved up. Things are better now.
I mean, I just look at me. I started off as a classroom aide. I started off as a classroom aide. From a classroom aide, became a teacher. From a teacher became a dean. From a dean became assistant principal. From assistant principal became an elementary principal, and then went to become a high school principal. So I look at, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And you have to have a sense of I want more, and so that's what I'm trying to put in my students. Just because you start here, I started off at the bottom. My father was a custodian, my mom was a counselor. But they always put in me. You can be what you want to be. My father moved in, became maintenance and grounds and all that kind of stuff. My mom, she's still a counselor right now, one of the oldest ones in the district. She's over at SEC, again, because she just loves her job. She loves what she does for kids, loves to try to help someone out. So again, that's all you got to do, just want something. If you got to want better for yourself and want better for that next person. And when you do that, then you can climb, you can reach whatever goal you want to set. So that's what I think. Every day, that's what my goal is as well, to try to reach the students. So I'll be trying to get students to understand, you can be what you want to be, but you got to understand, you have to want it. I can't want it for you. And so, that's the biggest thing I would say.
And then I also have just one last question about the staff, because I think we all know that in a lot of communities, teachers are underserved. And I do think in education, a lot of people, go in wanting to make a difference, and years go on, and because you're being underserved, you can, some teachers do become jaded over time. The beginning of the journey might not look the same way it did towards the end. What are you doing to support your teacher? What are you doing to support your educational staff?
Well, what I always try to do, first off, have an open door policy. I'm still a human being, Yes, I have a role to play. They have a role to play. Yes, I'm the supervisor at the end of the day, but again, I'm a human being just like they are. I have to make sure I'm respecting my staff as I want my staff to respect me. That's number one. And you try to meet people with their differences, with their problems. Sometimes it's more personal than business. Sometimes you gotta, sometimes a person might need that shoulder to really talk to personally. Not business wise. And so you gotta understand, people are still people. And you get more out of people by trying to treat them fair all the time. And so that's what I really try to do. When you combine two schools, you had teachers from Saginaw High, I had teachers from Arthur Hill. So you had two different cultures. And so, and I'm gonna be honest with you, last year I had myself, it was Mrs. Tibbs and Mr. Laporte. I came from Saginaw High. Ms. Tibbs and Mr. Laporte were my assistant principals. They came from Arthur Hill. But what we did, we came together as a team to try to meet each and every one of those teachers and let them know it's not about Saginaw High. It's not about Arthur Hill. We're here working together, so guess what? If we can do it, then you can do it. And so that's what we did. So we just tried to put up a united front, work together, and just let people know. And you know what? It was people that Ms. Tibbs could reach better than I could. It was people that I could reach better than she could. It was people that Laporte could reach better. So we just tried to form a real team, come together, and try to support teachers where they were at and meet them where they're at. And just let them know, you know what? It's not about what we used to do. It's about what we're trying to do here now. So that's how we gained the momentum, and it was able to have a very, very successful first year.
Okay, quick follow-up about what were those two separate cultures of Arthur Hill and Saginaw High, you feel?
It was that's the ways they did things over Arthur Hill versus some of the ways we did. Everybody does things differently, I led a different way, Tibbs led a different way, but we came together and we just tried to make sure that we encompassed all of the great things that we could do and brought the great things together and left some of the things that, hey, she did some things better than me, I did some things better than her. So we tried to take the best from both worlds, incorporate it into Saginaw United, because that's what it was about. Wasn't about change. It's about trying to bring the best from both places into one place at Saginaw United High School.
All right, and then do you have any upcoming events of any kind that you want the community out for?
We're gonna have our homecoming will be October the 3rd. So again, that's gonna be one of the first big events where people will be able to come out. We're gonna have our ribbon cutting for our field house that day as well. And so again, we want the community to come out, see what they invested their money into, because I think it's a beautiful field house. We've already done tours all last year of the school, but it was a two-step process. We have the school academic piece of it. Now we have the sport piece of it. And so we're now working on the football fields, which will be completed very soon, the baseball field, the softball field, the track, and the field house where we play basketball and volleyball and wrestling and all of those things. So that'll be complete. We're going to have that ribbon cutting on October the 3rd, and so I think that'll be a great chance for the community to come out and see what they invested their money in, because I think they got their money's worth.
All right, Eric Gordon, principal of Saginaw United High School. Thank you so much for coming on the
Not
show.
a problem.
I appreciate you so much
Thank
for
you.
having you on.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And make sure to click that bell icon to stay notified when we upload new content. Videos like this are only possible because of viewers like you. To help support this channel, click on the link in the description below. We'll see you next time.